I don't always think she hears things correctly, or, she interprets things differently than the average bear.
What are your thoughts on Gia getting into the mix this season, and are she and Joe Gorga kind of going at it?
I think that was very hard for me to watch. That water runs very deep. It was painful, and I felt very badly for Joe Gorga, because it was upsetting, because I know that he has no ill intent ever, and that's a fact, and I know it cuts him very much. The other thing is with Gia is just, what upset me was I saw Teresa say, she was so proud Gia stuck up for her when Gia, came back at me a little. She knows I'm never going to argue with Gia. Just like, right. Why wouldn't you want to keep your daughter out of this? That's my whole point. Why do you want to drag her into this mess? I think it's inappropriate.
Yeah,
I would never say, I love Gia, and I would never say anything rude to her. She's younger than my youngest child, and I'm never going to say that.
Was it almost like she was having her fight her battles for her a little bit?
It was just like, I understand why Gia wants to be protective of her mother, but you can't have it both ways. Yeah. You can't have it like, keep my daughter's name out of your mouth, and then Gia, comes in there. It's like, because no one is going to ever argue with someone's child. It's just not going to happen.
Right. And like you said, you mentioned Jennifer before, the two of you were able to make amends this season, after multiple seasons of arguing. Do you regret bringing up the affair, or do you feel like it kind of not forced you guys to be friends, or, kind of resolve your differences? I'll
tell you what it was. This keeps coming up. I didn't bring up the affair saying your husband had an affair. I brought up the affair because I said, you're a hypocrite. It was not about Bill at all in the affair. It was just about her, constantly attacking me, and the sexual harassment of me, degrading it, saying I slept my way, all these things. In the meanwhile, you celebrate your husband and make it out like he's perfect when he was no different. And that was my point. It's just like, well, why is he not a piece of shit if I am? That's a piece of whatever, you know what I mean? So, and it was the hypocrisy. And then when I found out she was digging about it had nothing to do with that. If I knew, and I said this to her, that she would crumble like that, I would have never said it. I really would, because I knew she knew about the affair. I had no idea. I thought it was going to be like, we're going to have this argument. She would see her part, like, I've been a hypocrite these years, pretending everything's perfect, making excuses. And that would have been it. Like I had said to her before, I didn't want to cut you to the core. I never thought we've never seen her cry. She's been such a villain for so many years. Who would know that she was going to be like that? I would never want to see her crumble like that.
Are she and Bill in a good place right now?
They seem like they are. I think everybody works through their issues. That's my whole point. Who would know they even had issues?
Right.
And because she said everything was great.
It seems like the guys had some drama this season as well, with Bill kind of going at it with Joe and things like that. Are they still the Wolfpack still as tight as ever?
I think the men could really, move past anything. It doesn't cut as deep with the men.
That is true. And you and Jennifer are on good terms again?
I think we still had to hash some things out at the reunion. I think we have to rebuild our trust factor. I think she feels like she doesn't trust me. I feel like I don't always trust her. I don't always feel like things, I don't always think she hears things correctly, or, she interprets things differently than the average bear. But, I think we're working on it. And but I do think, things have moved forward.
Right. And like you said, this season doesn't really have much resolve. So are you happy to have a little bit of a break before you jump back into the next season?
Yeah, no, I feel like there was no break. For some reason, I just don't feel like there was a break.
Right. It's just constant, keep going.
Yeah, I just feel like it's always in your face. You finish filming, then the season's airing, then you're talking about it, then you're reliving it, then this one's talking about, I think it just doesn't end.
Definitely.
You want the truth, Chris? It's your real life, right? So it doesn't end, right?
Right. And how's Marge Sr. doing?
Marge Sr. is doing amazing. The only thing, it's just she has a little PTSD from the Ukraine. The episode was so beautiful when we saw, but it's just very reminiscent of her life before. But she's great, and she's holding up. She does a lovely weather report every day on her Instagram and gives world news. So thank you.